So that we are done with the search, the second thing we need to do here is to create a function that is going to load all our users. This is the most important function in our view here. So we say func load users, and we are going to pass a filter here, which is a type of string. The filter, you may have guessed, is the place our user is registered, city, country, or all. So we are passing one of these three filters here. So our load a user function knows which users we are searching for. All right. First thing we need to show our user. If I click, you can see a loading bar. So first we need to show this to our user. So we say progress AGT.show, and this will just show the loading bar without any text or anything. So our user knows that something is going on. Then I'm going to create a query, which is a type of query. And the reason I'm doing this because we are going to have three different type of queries depending on what filter we are going to use. This our query is going to be different. So in order to get this done, I'm going to use a switch statement. The value we are going to do on filter, so we are going to check what filter value is, and we will have three cases. First case is going to be kcity, which can be found in our constants. We are going to filter them by city, by country, and by default it's going to be the all. So the first case is city. Then I have another case, which is k country, and the default case, I'm not going to put an all here because by default we are going to return all the users, so we don't do any extra case check here. So if it's not city or country, it's going to be all. Okay, so let's take care of the city first. I'm going to say my query, which is my variable on top, is equals, and now we are going to access our Firebase. And imagine this, as I said, these are folders. So we have a user folder, then we have a user documents, and this is the content of each document. So we need to access our user folder here. So I'm going to access my reference function. I'm going to pass my user here. So remember, this reference function is returning a reference to different folders: users, typing, recent, messages, groups, and calls. So now we are accessing our users folder, and then I am going to do the filtering here, and this is going to be where field, and our field is going to be kcity is equals to, and here we are going to pass which city we want to equal. So since we are searching for the current user's city, we can access our fuser dot current user, which will return the current user that is logged in on our device. We unwrap this, and then we can access the city proper value of our fuser, which is right here. Okay, so we check that the city is equals to the city of our user, and then we want to order them, or order our search. So I say order by, and we are going to order by and use the descending option. So we are going to order by k first name, so all our users are ordered by their first name, and descending is going to be false. Okay, so this is the case for our city. In case if we are searching for country, straightforward, you may have guessed it, all we need to change here is instead of the city, we are going to say k country is equals to our current user dot country. That's it, and again we are using to order our users by their first name. And the default query, I'm going to say query is equals, again we say our reference and pass our user here. But this time we are not using a where clause, so we don't want to search where something equals to something. All we want to do is get everything back, but we still want to order it. So I'm going to copy the order part. I'm going to paste it here. So we get all the users that are in our user folder, and we're going to order them in their first name. So this is our segment for our query. Now that we have separated different query cases, we're going to run our query. So I say query, and I'm going to say get documents and hit enter. And what we are going to get here is a snapshot and an error variable. So if we have no errors, we are going to get our snapshot back. Every time we call this function, we want to do one thing before we start putting all these new users into our arrays. We want to take our arrays here and we want to empty them, because if we don't empty them, every time we call our load user functions, it will take, let's say now I have all these 3 users. If I click on my country, it will add another avatar user to my 3 users, and then if I click all users again, it will add another 3 users to my array. So I will have 4 or 5 times same users, which we don't want. We want the arrays to represent only the users that we currently want to see. So for this reason, we are going to say self.allUsers is equal to empty string, and we say self.section title list, which is this thing here, is equal to empty string as well. Then we say self.allUsers grouped is equals to, since this is a dictionary, we say it's equals to empty dictionary here. Alright, so these are the 3 things we need to reset in order for our table view doesn't show multiple of the same users. Then we need to check if we have any errors. So I say if error is not equals to nil, it means we do have an error and I want to print it. So I say print, say error, unwrap this, localized description. Then I want to tell my user that this loading thing will stop. So if there is an error, I don't want the loading circle stay on the display. So we say progress AGT dot dismiss. And finally, we want to refresh our table view. So we say self dot table view dot reload data, and we want to return so it doesn't get the rest of the function code. So when we have an error, we just dismiss our loading and we clean our text view, table view, because according to the error we don't know what to display, so it's better to not display anything. So we just clean the table view there. So this in case we had an error. If we don't have error, we proceed and we want to check if we have a snapshot here. So I'm saying guard let snapshot is equals to snapshot, else, so if we don't have a snapshot here, else what we are going to do is we're going to say progress AGT dismiss again, and we're going to return. So again, we get rid of this loading thing, and we are returning so it doesn't call the rest of the function. If, however, we have the snapshot, so we have some data on our table view, we are going to use it to present on our table view.